In the heart of a bustling city apartment, Emma noticed the hallway light flickering again. The dull, inconsistent glow had been bothering her for days, but today she decided it was time to fix it. She called the building's maintenance desk and soon heard a familiar voice over the intercom. "Hi, I'm here to replace the bulb." When the doorbell rang, she opened it to find a man standing there. Tall, with a lean build, dressed in a well-worn navy work shirt and jeans. His dark hair was short and slightly tousled, and his green eyes met hers with a steady gaze that made her pause. "Right this way," Emma said, stepping aside with a hint of nervous anticipation. The hallway felt tighter with him there. Silence lingered between them, filled with an unspoken electricity. As he climbed the ladder to reach the burnt-out bulb, his movements were deliberate, his muscles flexing under the fabric of his shirt, revealing strength she hadn't expected. She glanced away, pretending not to notice, but her eyes kept returning to him. The simple act of holding the replacement bulb in her hands suddenly felt charged. He reached down, brushing his fingers briefly against hers as he took the bulb. That fleeting contact sent a spark through her, far beyond the flicker of the light overhead. Emma held the new bulb carefully, though her fingers betrayed a slight tremor. Jake, the maintenance guy, descended the ladder slowly, as if savoring the moment. Standing just a breath away, the air between them thickened with an unspoken charge. "Just need to screw this in now," Jake said, taking the bulb from her hands. Their fingers brushed again. Light, fleeting, but electric. Was it intentional? Emma wasn't sure, but it sent a thrill through her. She caught the scent of him, a mix of fresh soap, worn leather, and something earthy that clung to his skin. The kind of scent that lingers long after the moment has passed. "Do you always handle light bulb changes with such intensity?" Emma teased, trying to mask the flutter in her chest. Jake smirked, a knowing curl at the corner of his mouth. "Only when the job calls for extra care." As he climbed back up, the muscles in his arms tensed with the effort, each movement precise and deliberate. Emma watched, mesmerized, her gaze tracing the outline of his strong silhouette against the... Jake stepped closer, closing the small distance until there was barely any space left between them. Emma's eyes locked onto his, curious, daring, as if silently inviting him to read the secret stories hidden in her gaze. "I think something's off in here," she murmured, tapping lightly over her heart. "Maybe I should take a look," Jake replied, a teasing smile playing on his lips. Emma chuckled softly, the sound low and inviting. "Is this the kind of repair work you usually do?" she teased, letting her words linger between them. He took a slow step forward, making the cramped hallway feel even smaller. The cool wall pressed against Emma's back, but Jake's presence was warm and magnetic. He didn't touch her, at least not yet, but the electricity in the air was undeniable. She shifted slightly, her hair brushing against his arm. "Do you usually work alone?" she asked, voice soft. "Mostly," Jake answered, "but today I think I found a worthy assistant." His words hovered between them like a spark ready to ignite. Emma slowly leaned back against the wall, fingers tracing idle patterns as if deciding her next move. The ladder's edge pressed lightly into her palm, but her thoughts were elsewhere, waiting, wondering if Jake would make the next move. "If you want to climb back up, I can hold the ladder steady this time," Jake offered quietly, his voice low and warm. "Now that you're here, I'm not sure I want to climb again," she replied with a playful smile. Jake laughed softly, the sound deep and inviting, like a distant rumble before a storm. She settled onto the small ledge beside the hallway light, crossing her legs slowly, letting the silence stretch between them. I still have a bulb that needs testing, she teased, her eyes sparkling. Jake stepped closer, not touching, but letting his fingers trace the edge of the lamp's frame. The gesture was slow, deliberate, hypnotic in its restraint. Indirect light often sets the right mood, he said, locking eyes with her. Emma tilted her head, a coy smile playing on her lips. Then go ahead and turn it on. Finally, Jake moved, but with care, savoring every second. His fingers barely brushed the edge of Emma's shirt, lifting the fabric just enough to stir the air between them. It wasn't a touch, but a promise. Emma stepped down from the ledge, facing him with a knowing smile. You know, this bulb wasn't the real problem, she murmured. Sometimes we pretend something's broken just to see who shows up to fix it. Their breaths mingled, the world shrinking to the space between them. Jake gently pushed a stray lock of hair behind her ear, a touch so tender it spoke louder than words. You're full of energy, he whispered. And you have a dangerous way with high voltage, she teased back. Their lips hovered close, so close it was almost unbearable. But instead of a kiss, they paused, charged and electric. I think everything's working now, including the part that needed the most care, she said softly. Jake glanced at the latter, then back at her. If you want, I can